Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I dated myself there with that one, man.
Flat there, man.
A little bit flat. Yeah. Potentially. You know how these things is going. Dating myself. There was that welcome back Carter. I think it is Carter.
Oh yeah,
I think so. One of them kind of things. Anyway, hello, fellas. How we doing?
I'm doing okay. Must say I didn't recognize the song.
You didn't recognize it? A little off there. A little off. As you can see,
It was
the
right,
voice
though.
has changed.
I enjoyed it.
Welcome back, Katie. I know you recognize that song, man. Katie. I know Katie
Welcome back.
But anyway, hey guys, how we doing? Welcome back to another episode of The Living Room. As usual, it's me, Andre, my good friends Mark and Philip, and you're here on the We Global platform. We took a little break for the summer, do some stuff, a little bit of sun, well, rain, as we in the UK, but anyway, we are now back, and it's a pleasure to be back with you. If this is your first time joining us, hit like on Facebook, follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, and what's not, ring the bell so you get notifications as to when we have this show and other shows as well that we do. But welcome. Great to have you. How are we doing, guys?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Good.
But that welcome back was what theme was that?
That is an old comedy, man. Welcome back, Carter. I believe it is, or Carter. Somebody can tell me in the chat. Hey, Elmi. How you doing? Somebody can tell me. That's an old song. You trying to make me feel like I old, right? Hey, Karen.
Didn't recognize it. Hey, Karen, how you doing, man?
I said Karen. Hey, you care too long. Karen.
You know.
Hey, Karen.
Karen cares.
Hey, Karen.
I'll be careful with Karen now too,
You got me. Yeah. No, she's not a Karen. Her name is Karen. She's not a Karen. That's a very different. Wait, Valerie watching cricket. Tally was 15 for 5. I haven't been following the CPL. Y'all been following the CPL this year? I haven't really been following that much, really.
It's an odd one because I thought the other day that there was a test series on. I think Pakistan was in the West Indies, and at the same time the CPL was kicking off. It seemed a little bit odd to me.
Hey, Rosling.
Yeah,
it was a clash, innit? It was a clash. You're competing for eyeballs, and that didn't necessarily seem like the right thing to do. Hey, Miriam, how you doing? Oh, the only thing I know about the CPL is that the Barbados Royals seem to be complete nonsense. That's the only thing That's the only thing I gleaned from all over Facebook and different places, that the agents seem to be pretty bad. No, they're just bad this year. Hey, Teresa. That is what I'm hearing. Somebody could tell me if I'm wrong, but that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that the Bajan team actually is quite bad. Hey, Karen.
Wow.
But anyhow, what y'all get to this summer, man? I chased him with some wine. How are you doing? Welcome back.
Welcome back. I got some. I think it's the first he got some Moby there. That's what you say?
Usual.
This is
Moby look very red. What the guy got you guys?
I mean, red. That's just the red sticker at the back.
You got that Moby mixed with sorrel, man.
Moby look a little light.
No, I just decided because it made from syrup, so I don't want it too thick.
I know you ain't want it but you ain't got to skip on the syrup, so man.
Well, I can see straight. The thing about it, Mark, right, is that I can see through the Moby, and his shirt still look green. Ain't changed the color. His shirt.
What's that for? A drop of Moby to 5 parts water?
Yeah, man.
Lord, man. I know you ain't on that long, but still, man.
That.
I don't want too much.
No.
I don't want too much sugar.
The travel thing got me right, so he longing it out. Right?
Hold it up again there, let me see it, man.
That is a good movie.
Wow.
That is a good movie.
Are you sure?
Wow.
All right.
Don't get mixed up between Moby and malt.
Well, I got malt here, but you can see, you can't see through my enamel cup. But, kind of deliberate.
The perfect Moby, you can see through it, and it's just refreshing.
No, man.
I think you're thinking about swank.
Swank.
You see how the man put me down there?
Yeah, Alicia got my song. Welcome. I don't know.
Vinny Barbarino.
Man, there's a song there. Well, I can look for it, man.
I know the song you mean, man. It's Welcome Back. It's just that you didn't hit in the key.
Oh, shoot.
I ain't want to tell you though, but if I the flat.
I don't know the song, so I wouldn't attempt singing it.
Yeah. No problem. So what y'all get to, man?
Man, it's been a good summer actually. It's been a good summer, man. For me, it's been one of getting my head ready for the departure of a son, mostly, to be honest.
You say departures if you're going somewhere for good, man.
Man,
It ain't that attractive.
Man.
Man, calm down, Carbon, man.
Phil,
Wait till you can come, Barrow.
this is why telling you no, right? I want you to remember these words, you know. I want you to hear what the man saying.
Yeah, man.
Down, it ain't that bad.
Calm down, man.
No, let me just tell the audience who we're talking about. So my oldest son, our oldest son. Let me just make sure you say that right. It's off to university next weekend. Actually, he goes up next weekend. So it's a change in tide, but a bit of an emotional roller coaster. I feel.
Hey, Nicole.
So, it's a hard one. I've been kind of thinking about it all summer and getting him ready and getting a little bit emotional. But your time will come, man. Your time will come.
Of course it will come. But that's all right. That's all right. Hey, Jamon, how you doing? Yes, I hope Trinidad is doing well and Tobago. You gotta say that. Go ahead, Phil.
You said emotional. What's the range of emotions you having?
Range.
I think some days when I sit down have a quiet moment, I'll be like, wow, well, Kyle is our first son, and I know all about being a dad from the first couple of years of raising him and seeing him grow up and go through the years. And
so there's a bit of pride.
There's that. And then there's the other spectrum of concern where, he's always lived in this house. We've always lived together as a four. And suddenly one of us will be gone, and it's that unknown about where he's going, how he'll respond, and how we will respond as a three now with him remote, so I swing from concern to pride to scared, all those things I feel. And I feel, in fact, I'm sure Karen Reed is in the audience because I sure she popped something up, and I'm sure she is someone who I follow on Facebook and often talks about her sons being away. I'm sure she will get where I'm going.
Yeah. I'm sure. Look, Kyle is going to get. Did you get the jabs? Yes, a long time, Adrian. Long time, man.
I say,
long time you get jabs.
Did you?
Oh, did he? Oh, meaning Kyle.
Oh, did he? Oh, sorry, man. Yeah, yes, he's on his first one. He's due his second one next weekend. So we're trying to see if we can get that to happen before he actually goes off, because it would be good if that happens this side rather than in Huddersfield. So yes, he had his first one as soon as he turned 18, Adrian.
Happy birthday.
That's it.
See, Karen said she's with me.
Okay.
I am.
Yeah. I'm sure. Of course she with you. That's no problem. Look, Kyle is going to do fine. And it will be fine. You know me. Kyle is a great fella. So he'll do good. I have no doubt about that. But no doubt, going to university is going to be a big step for him and for the family as well.
Of course.
How's the wife handling it? That's not a topic to talk about.
I think she's doing okay, but I think she had a little bit of a wobble last week when she started packing the clothes. I think when the suitcase come out, that was the moment when it started
symbolic.
Yeah, so I kind of feel this coming week now when we really start to put more stuff in the suitcase, the Kleenex and everything else
coming out for you.
come out. The mop might have to come out. For me,
I see Karen saying no, those were the emotions in the beginning, but now she actually looked forward to the boys leaving.
Oh wow!
Wow! Really?
So maybe we could plot a chart, time against emotion or something.
Yeah, something we could plot then every week. Just ask, man, how you doing there, Mark?
Yeah, where are you?
Where are you on the spectrum? Okay, you're okay. You're doing good. Yeah. Man, he's gonna be fine. I have no doubt that he's gonna be good. No doubt at all that he can enjoy himself. I see Teresa; she felt the same way with her son too. Yeah. Okay, but he was all right. Foundation is important.
That's
Agreed.
True.
Agreed.
Yeah. And in fact, it was great to be able to see some friends and family over the summer and have them celebrate that moment with him as well, because it's a big thing. He's going to study. Kieran, he's going to the University of Huddersfield, and he is going to study music and song for screen. that is Carl's thing. You know, those of you who follow him on Facebook will know that he's a budding composer. He just released his first compositional album and his third album. So he's a musician, and he's very much deep into it. So he will do well in that space.
He can be good, man. I have no doubt that he can be good. No
man.
at all.
Yeah, man.
So
that's one of the
packing
things.
has started. You're driving it up. What you plan to do when you drive him up there the first couple of days? Are you staying over?
Well, yeah. I think we're gonna stay over next weekend, and just try and get him settled. You know. But man, you know what we was like when we was 18. oh, that's another show.
That is. What do you mean?
Well, look, there's nothing that will scare you more in life.
I was in church singing songs. I know where you were.
There's nothing that will scare you more in life than when you get to this stage of life and you start to think, boy, I was doing when I was 18, though. Jeez.
Then you pause.
Let me ask you, Phil, man, because this man here seemed to think that we he gone a little bit solemn on me. Like, what are you talking about? I don't know what you talking about. You know what I mean, right, Phil?
Yeah. I do. I know both y'all when you were 18.
Oh, you're going to the wrong man there, Mark. You think he in me corner?
Like you said, that might be another show.
That's a different show.
There's no way we doing a show on that.
You got that right.
I can guarantee you that.
You got that right. Look, he can be fine. Like anything else, first few weeks or so, finding his foot and that kind of thing. But once you find a rhythm, the key is to just find your rhythm, and he will get into it, and he'll be good. And the foundation at home is important, you know, and he'll be great. And it was good being there to give him a little send off as well. So that was good.
Yeah, man.
That's good.
I really appreciate it. I really appreciated that from both of you. You know, coming to say a proper goodbye and really let him know what to look for and look forward to. So I really appreciated that, man. Thank you so much.
No problem. Yeah. No problem at all. I mean, funny enough, over these past 3 weeks that we were off, folks, just so you know, we probably spent almost every weekend together.
Interesting.
My wife let me know that today. So
she pointed it out.
Because the first weekend, Mark was at me for the weekend.
Yeah.
The second weekend, Philip was at me. And then the third weekend, we were all at Mark. So,
Yeah.
Gonna plan it better. But that's after a year. That's after a year.
That is after a whole year. We didn't see each other for a year. The kids were beside themselves.
Want to see each other. Yeah.
They were beside themselves once they know you guys were coming down and the others know who was going where. They were like, could not wait. I don't think you had any problems at all telling anybody to get ready.
No.
At all. You know, I didn't hear anybody complaining on the 2.5 hour drive at all. It was all about, are we there yet? How much longer? It wasn't a case of, oh my Lord, why do we have to do this? You know, so that was good. It was good catching up. I mean, after what, nearly 18 months or so, finally seeing each other for the first time in so long.
Yeah,
it was good.
Months.
It was a long time.
Open doors, isn't it? Open doors at you, Phil.
No,
That was right,
last time we were together was here at me for Christmas.
Oh, no.
2019.
No, yes,
Yeah, it was March.
At March. Yeah. And that was 2019 December. And that was the last time we physically saw one another.
That's right. True.
Until
Wow.
this
It
summer here
was,
just
it was
now.
good
So
to come down and you know, you've been talking about these barbecues all summer. We can come back to that question in a minute, Adrian. You've been talking about these barbecues all summer, so it was good to come and experience one, man. He good, Phil. I can vouch for him. He good. He good.
Philly had enough time, otherwise you would do the same thing, you know, to report everything. And let me go. I might tell you.
Meat included, or you're just doing sort of vegetable kebabs?
No.
We
done
done
meat as well.
that. We done.
That's a year ago, buddy. A year ago.
Okay, so
That
You no longer-
experiment gone long.
okay, well,
Yes, I eat
was still
things
about
that
this.
eat vegetables, so I get. I think that's all right. I eat, things that eat vegetables. That's good, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
He good, man. He good running barbecue for truth, Phil.
Good.
I gotta give that. I gotta give that, man.
Okay.
For sure.
It was good, man.
I'll plan things differently next time I don't.
You have to.
Man, you got to, man. You got to. Don't worry. I get out the coals because you know I don't do no gas barbecue. That's cheating. Sorry.
That sounds
I said
good.
it.
That sounds good.
Proper, charcoals, getting that, the fuse with the smoke and thing, it got you covered. It got you covered.
And were you using to get your charcoal started? Using bush or gas?
No.
Lighter.
Yeah. Gas like that?
No, just tell me. I didn't insult it. I'm asking for educational purposes.
Man, you just put some cardboard or something under these things. Make sure you get it all compacted, get them lit, get it nice and hot, and then off you go. Half and half.
Wait till the coals get nice and white.
Full fire one side,
glowing.
then you just do the thing on the other side. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow, that sounds good, man.
Very good.
Yes.
Good.
I just saying.
You might smoke, but you good.
Yeah. Yeah, the
But that's
start
part of
is
it.
smoky.
If you got barbecue without smoke, you know, you got to ask some questions.
You know. What was that, Dr. Lord asked just now?
Let me get it back here because it's an interesting one. Why do parents have to? In fact, before we address that, let me just say, guys, this evening, look, this is your show, okay? This is your show this evening. Jump in with any questions that you want. We're catching up with you just as much as we're catching up with each other, okay? So jump in. So why do parents have to take up their children to university? Well,
That's a good question. Yeah, good question.
It is because it's a real foreign concept to us Bajans who, if you're going to university, you're going to get a vamp on the morning and go on the road, right? But in our case, Adrian, Kyle is going 2.5 hours away from home to university. So he's going to live in a different part of the country. And probably will come home from time to time.
I think he mean even the ones that live overseas. I think he even mean the ones that live overseas.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I guess I'd already done my undergrad at UA already, but when I came up a year after I finished the undergrad to do my master's, I would just hop on a plane.
You saw parents bringing kids up as well?
No. A lot of my friends that came up just hop on a plane and came on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Find their way to university, come with all the documentation and sort out. Having said that, most of my friends were now doing their postgrads, not doing their undergrads. I can't speak for the guys who do undergrad. I would assume that a lot of parents take their kids up from the Caribbean, having now just only done A level though.
Yeah,
I think so. I know a friend of mine whose son is now starting university. She traveled. Well, the entire family traveled up with him to get him settled in.
Really?
So I think it's more a case of if you can, you do. Right? If we think a few years ago, imagining that journey, and I know my parents would never be able to afford it to come up with me up to the UK,
Which is a good point too. Yeah,
so I think there's the economic side of it. But if you can, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You know, it's a
good chance. It's probably worth giving a little bit of insight as well to what happens here in the UK, because what you'll find over the next couple of weeks is around all universities across the country
of activity, man.
Very, very busy. I mean, I tried to book
in a drop off at the airport.
See ya.
I'm sure your parents loved you.
Call you when you get there.
Let me know.
I'm sure your parents loved you.
Me too, Adrian. I went to the airport and drop off.
Yep.
Gone.
Yeah. But I think you will find. I tried to book into a hotel because we want a steady weekend, and even just in Huddersfield, all the hotels are taken because you know who that is. That's parents who.
That's just parents
staying. Yeah. But that's what you can replicate that now across the whole country over these next couple of weeks. Is the undergraduates come in and start to find their feet. At the end of the day, they're still only 18.
True.
That is true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and living away from home for the first time is a huge thing for a lot of these kids.
Yeah.
Michael said mini fridge and thing game, but you buying a mini fridge, Mark?
I don't plan to.
That's part of the adventure that the children need to go through. Well,
I
the
think
young
so.
adults.
I think so. Yeah.
Buying your own plate. Well, to be honest, when I was at university, I only had one plate, one fork, one cup.
Really?
I was in everything.
Use it, wash it, back, go again.
You do what, Phil?
Use it, wash it, store it, go again.
What, at university?
Yeah.
For me, I remember at university, man, they used to have these packets of rice that used to come season. Like army food, you know, it had chunks of chicken. It can't bother all that cooking thing. Feel like no, you
What?
used to I know you used to do proper.
You tell your story.
I just tell you what I used to do. Look, it was easy.
Okay, all right.
My look used to mix up things. Yeah, I remember I used to eat some mixed meat and rice and thing. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, eat it. Just mix it up, eat it. You
I
just
would tell
gone.
you what was my
Oh Lord,
my secret.
cuisine here now, man.
Here we go.
My
Go, Phil.
university secret food was curry tuna.
What?
What?
Curry tuna. Do not kick it. Do not kick it.
Wait, when you said curry tuna, let me
I
give you
talking
the
about
benefit. Let me
tuna
get.
tuna.
See now, I was giving you the benefit of doubt that you was going and buy proper fish. I
Living-
came up.
No, living on a student budget and time and money. Time and money
Tuna
are
in a
scarce.
can.
Tuna in a can. You need a quick meal. Tuna, onions, garlic, coconut oil,
And
cream
curry.
coconut, curry. Quickly done. Bit of rice
All right.
and excellent.
I can't
The thing
imagine.
tastes
that I
so
have-
good. The
Well,
thing
you're
tastes
talking
so
to me
good.
now, so you survive. So I can.
Yeah, my flatmates used to come in. Flatmates used to come in and said, "This should become our official food."
Really?
Yes.
Where he was
They had
from?
one, India,
India. Oh, okay.
and the others were Greeks. And
Okay.
when they smelled it in the kitchen, they were like, "What is that you are cooking?"
So listen. The
Curry,
next time,
tuna.
listen. No. The next time we get together, right?
No, don't even suggest it.
I give you tips.
I want you to make this tuna curry. So I want to taste it.
You want to taste the curry tuna?
I
All
want
right.
to taste it.
Yeah, it is
I-
good.
I hear
To
so.
me, it's not what I would choose to eat. No, but as a student,
It was a necessity.
as a
It was-
student, yeah,
It was out of need.
it was just no. It was good. It was good enough.
It was good enough. All right.
Yeah,
More power to you, buddy.
yeah.
More power to you. But that is...
I am sure it was better than spice rice in a bag.
Man, no, man, it was good. Yeah, my spice rice was good. I mean, you had to add a few little things of it because you know what it's called spicy here. Ain't really spicy.
Salt.
Yeah, just be salt. They just add some
Salty.
salt in it and some spice, and they just think that that's spicy. They just gotta add a few more things to it. But it was just the process. The process was good. I see someone say ramen.
Ramen noodles.
Ramen. I never eat ramen yet, actually.
Never went there. I've eaten ramen, but
Now look,
proper
anything that is $5 for $1.
Can't eat.
Angela,
Angela.
not the curry tuna. Curry tuna will save your sons at university and daughters and daughters too.
You see, I was giving you the benefit because I know when you go to the proper Indian restaurants to do fish and that kind of stuff, but it's the full whole fish and that kind of stuff that they do like that. So, but when you tell me tin, that's the part that had me. I was like, oh, the tin?
John West, man.
John West, indeed.
In
Or if
brine?
you go to that supermarket in brine, yeah. Don't get it in oil.
No,
Don't get it in
no.
oil.
All right. Well,
And
let's just say
sometimes, and some days, if you're feeling a little fancy, get some mackerel instead.
oh, you're killing me. You're killing me
I
now.
just okay, let me do a mackerel. I love to do a curry mackerel.
I can't. No.
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
It's a
but-
long time I had some spruce, man.
Spruce. Spruce.
Yeah, man.
Indeed. But as I say, you're still living, so that's a good thing. Look, university is some good times. Cug can enjoy himself. I'm sure he can come home every now and then to get some food and bring some washing and different
ramen
things.
noodles.
Bring some peace to his mom's life, I'm sure.
Yeah. Of course, that too. But I'm sure he will enjoy himself. He can have a good time.
I might do a little undercover uncle. You know, just secretly turn up one day in Huddersfield.
No, why not? He just 45 minutes from
What
you.
kind of fancy seeing you here?
I had a meeting.
Problem is when you watch this back now, you can know.
Yeah, that's should not have said it. Should not have said it.
Oh, what's that make us say what?
Ramen
Ramen?
noodles are like
Wait,
Remember Kool-Aid. Every
He is
flavor under
right.
the sun.
Including tuna.
I never had a inkling to eat any ramen at all. I've never ever tasted this stuff. Don't know. Just never look appetizing. So I just never bother with it. Never bother with it. But anyway. What else y'all get up to over the summer, man?
I think first he went to Wales at one point.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was
That
great.
good, no?
Yeah, just a few weeks, but that's sort of. I think I don't know if it still is, but it was the largest British holiday resort for many years.
Wow.
So historically, but it's great, a nice northern Wales seaside place, close to Snowdonia, Moncton. So a lot of walking, bit of running. I did as well. My usual.
I know you, man.
It was nice.
Hey, man,
Really
still
enjoyed
running? I run for a few weeks now.
Really?
You start
I
by
get
eating
lazy,
meat.
man.
You start by
That is
eating
it.
meat.
I feel that is it.
You start
That is
running.
it for Choop, man. That is it for Choop.
No, I still running, man. Got my 10K down to
really
under an hour now. So happy with
Oh,
that.
well done, buddy.
Wow.
You're proper running now for Choop. Mark, you started?
Proper Reddit.
Not yet, but it's on the cards.
It's on the cards. Is that coming for the
It's on the cards.
for the autumn?
I've set myself a target for the next time we get together, man. But
Ooh,
anyhow,
ooh. Tell me more. What you doing there, man?
No, you don't worry about it. I don't want to be held to account.
See what I fear? How would I get fear?
Because
Michael coming back to man bougie, man.
Must be a British thing.
I just tell you, man, about Mike curry tuna and the man called me bougie.
Yeah.
Yo, it's that. That is not bougie. I can tell you.
A macro
That is so
certainly
far.
isn't.
No, definitely not.
You got that right.
I love
you got that
mackerel.
right. Everything
Curry.
curry tastes like chicken. No, Katie, I don't think so.
I still knew it was tuna, but it did smell good.
It's at least taste starts with the nose, man. So as long as it was good in the nose, I'm sure it was good. But Wales was good. I haven't
Wales
been there
was
for a long
excellent.
time actually.
Yeah, and it's not far. It's just there on our doorstep. It's really a place that we can just visit. Has loads of different. As is Scotland. Come on, as is England as well. They're all connected. So I think there's a lot out there that we should see. One thing though, I recognize that traditionally Caribbean people didn't really venture out a lot, except if it was a sort of set up excursion. Because I know when I first came over to the UK and was chatting with people in London and telling them about different parts of the UK and different parts of Europe, they're like, I never left London and I've been here 40 years.
No, I hear that. I know that
It's true.
very well from some family and stuff as well.
Yeah.
And you're right. Unless it was a planned excursion,
Yeah.
there's that good old Caribbean word. A planned, unless it was an outing, an excursion, we don't really do that. I mean, this summer I went down to Canterbury, had a look at the cathedral and walk around there. That was pretty cool.
That sounds good.
Just
That one
take in some of that
Anastasia
history.
Put back at Anastasia there. Let me see
What's
what
she
she
saying
did
there?
saying. But they don't know the struggle, Michael.
What struggle?
Anastasia?
Anastasia.
I mean, a name like Anastasia? Come on. Two names brought together.
You understand?
Yeah. So we don't talk about struggle?
Struggle? We know the struggle, man.
Come
we know
on,
the struggle.
man. Come on, man. The thing is, in the UK this summer, you could not find anywhere to stay. I mean,
That is very true.
Every place was
very
booked
true.
up, solid and expensive. Gosh, man.
Manchester.
Yeah, well, that's why we kind of decide not to go anywhere to stay and just use home as a base and every day just hit somewhere else.
Yeah.
Went into London a little bit as well because you could be here for years and there's so much in London to see and you never see half of it. So we
That's
did a
very
bit
true.
of we did a bit of theater as well. Went down to Canterbury, do some other things. Went bowling a few times as well. Just do a lot
Actually,
of different
I
stuff.
see what Michael's saying now. You man some bougie for sure.
Who's that? Who, me?
Theater and bowling.
Bowling.
I went to the theater.
The theater. Oh, sorry. You said theater. No, you said
Theater.
theater. It's all different.
Theater,
Yeah.
man.
All right, got you.
I ain't putting the ever to put in the H. That would have sound bougie.
Yeah.
But I just call it theater. I mean theater. That is not bougie.
The man,
me just say no.
the man is not talking about the drive-in.
Yeah.
Let's be clear.
On the globe.
Man, you gotta take his little stuff, man. Yeah, so I
Indeed.
went and do that, man.
Well, look,
Yeah.
I can tell you something. When I left them by you, I went on that thing called the Emirates. The Emirates airline. You know
the
them got
airlines,
this
the skyline
Oh, yeah.
thing. Yeah.
this
man.
cable car that is go over the Thames, right?
You
You
look down?
afraid then?
Boy, look, when this thing took off, I don't even know what I was doing up there here.
But you see, this is why social media is a funny thing, you know. Cause I see you show some videos there, you look all happy and
Of course.
but the camera. But you start the camera as soon as they take off.
Boy, the so fucking here, wait till you.
Stabilizing algorithm on his camera.
Yeah. He was like cut off when the fear start to show.
Man, look, it's just 10 minutes across and 10 minutes back, but that 10 minutes is feel like ages, man. And when you see this thing, and so like, you know, like the roller coaster, when it,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, I can see all across London, like, yo, what the hell are they doing up here?
And then we look out and realize, in this big box.
Yeah.
Onto a wire.
Yeah.
Onto a wire.
Yeah. All the thoughts just started to go through your head like, come.
Anything happening, you're dropping in the river.
But not only that, all of a sudden it just do something stop. Right?
Yeah. In the middle of the river.
Just stop. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And
then you're like, well, so what's going on? But it was interesting but scary, man. Well, at least scary to me.
You didn't show that part in the video though, man.
Nah. It was my one flight this summer. You know, what did I say?
You surprised that we did pandemic done? Oh, see, okay.
We talk.
All right, you bring me to the pandemic here now, Adrian, Dr. Lord. You bring. No, the pandemic is not finished here at all, but from a protocols perspective, a lot of the protocols are still in. However, there's a lot more freedom here in the UK now to move around, especially if you're double vaxxed and what's not. But still wearing your mask, still washing your hands, all that kind of stuff. But you can move around quite a bit.
Yeah, and of course, there's been a lot of movement in the UK this summer. As I said, you couldn't find anywhere to stay. So I think everybody had the same idea, Adrian. We've been in our houses for 18 months. People need a release. You know?
But I think, to be honest, as Anastasia says here, people
living like it's done. Life going on.
I think that's very true.
That is true.
I think you can get that anywhere though, because when I on the underground and stuff, I went in the office a few times last week and the week before as well, throughout the time that we were on break. You know, a lot of people still wearing their masks. There are a few people that didn't have on their masks and stuff like that. But people wearing the masks, you see a lot of sanitizing your hands, a lot of stations and stuff all over the place, and a lot of people using them. So I think a lot of people trying, but there are also a lot of people who kind of just going, hey, I done with this here.
Enough is enough. Yeah.
And you see some men on the train going, tell me saying because I'm going to mask then. Tell me saying. You know, you see some idiot get on the train and he ain't got on a mask now, then so right, and he there looking around like, who gonna tell me saying in here? Tell me saying. Yep. And everybody doing very British, of which I do the same thing. No, just look away. Yes. Your business. Looking at you, scrolling through your phone, even though you ain't got the reception dog on the other girl.
I remember just before COVID became a real thing, a fella from China get on the tram one day, right? And you know, there was this thing before COVID was fully out. If you cough on the train or the tram, right? Listen, that was like, you know, what?
Cat among pigeons.
Everybody's like, you know, it was stifling these coughs all the time. And this guy from China got on the tram one day. Oh my days! And like, what a cough!
Oh my lord! Oh my lord!
In fact, somebody, a friend of mine that was on the tram with me that same day reminded me of it earlier this week. You remember that Chinese guy that got on the tram? People just scattered. Yeah. So it can be interesting though to see as we move through another season how things change, or if we get back there, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
there's an element
inevitability of it actually.
Yeah, man. I think there's an element that Bar's done with this thing. Bar's like, hey, at some point you just gotta see it done. Because they hold to pull out to Afghanistan, you know. We ain't already done, but we pulling out.
We done with that.
That's another subject that we could talk about. We ain't already done, but we done. Just saying, we out, you know. And I think there's an element of that. And I think people, and once that comes from the government, I think then people go, yeah, we done. And then here in the UK too, there's an element of the amount of people that has been vaccinated, which is fairly high in comparison with other places around the world, especially in the elderly population. I mean, as well, I think up in 90 something percent, I believe, that would have been vaccinated. Loads, similar numbers of people in care homes and that kind of stuff. And then as you come down, I think it's 70 something percent of vaccinations and stuff as well. And now you're coming to the younger people as well. So I think, unfortunately, is given. I mean, I say unfortunately, but is a rightly and wrongly here to this. Psychologically, is giving people a bit of a release to feel, maybe we coming out the other end. The wrong part is then sometimes the lapse in behaviors. Then it's exhibited as you go through that as well.
Yeah, there was a professor on the BBC, Professor Semple from Leeds University, was talking about, because people were trying to understand why isn't there also a rush to vaccinate like children. Children are always mixing together at school, and he said something that I had not heard before. He said because with the vaccine there is a known risk of side effects for children, right? And that risk is actually higher than the risk of children contracting COVID.
Contracting or being impacted by, or being negatively
infected,
or being like harshly infected, have it been
harshly affected. Sorry,
yeah. Or
Yeah.
But that has turned itself into a huge conversation now, because I saw one of the big headlines today: 12 to 15-year-olds, what are parents' views on whether they should be vaccinated? And you just know that is going to be a massive conversation now over the next couple of weeks. I mean, it's already started and the lines are drawn.
Yeah.
It don't seem as though parents are keen, but at the same time, there are some parents who, don't seem that bothered. But I think it's quite a serious issue to step into schools now to vaccinate children, given that there's uncertainty around the reaction.
I mean, it'd be interesting to hear what the guys in the audience think about that as well, because I know this is a big conversation in the Caribbean.
Absolutely.
I saw loads of conversation in Trinidad about vaccinating the guys before they go to school. I know in Barbados they started vaccinating the kids as well, in other parts of the region also. But then at the same time, as much as they're doing that, I see a lot of parents saying no.
Yeah.
And I seeing so much. I mean, and folks could tell us what they think, because I seen so much in the region about vaccine hesitancy in general, and then definitely when it comes to the kids, it's like
No,
not my children, So I'd be interested to hear what people think about it. I know Carl get the vaccine, Mark, but what if Chris was to be told to get it?
Well, it's it's only yesterday me and Sonia started to talk about that, because we now have to form an opinion on what we're going to do, and I think the thing is, you've got to come to a decision fairly quickly.
You got to do it quick. Yeah, is it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that is the thing. School starts on Wednesday. And Chris is going in on Wednesday. He's going to get his COVID test, because all the kids are going in groups to get tested. Yeah. I had a friend of ours whose daughter got tested and was devastated last week because she was positive. So there's on the one side, you think about what does it mean for them to get vaccinated, and then on the other side, you also see these behaviors that they start to exhibit if they hear the word positive and COVID, So we now have to make a decision. I can tell you, I don't know, because we haven't concluded. I don't know.
Yeah. We've been talking about it too, because obviously our girls started back school Friday, but that was just to be tested. Both were negative, and then they start school properly tomorrow again. But it's about, what do you do? Because I saw the advice here from Sage is that no, don't vaccinate, or sorry, not don't, but the advice is to say is not necessary to vaccinate school children. I mean, under the age of 16 or something like that. But obviously now the government now has to make a decision where that's concerned. So we now got to think that through. And I I don't know. Now my daughter, I think she has the view of, yes, get vaccinated. When she listened to everything, to her view, yes, you do. But yeah, is a big one. I guess it's one thing to say, yeah, fine for me to go and get vaccinated. But now when it comes down to the children, it's like,
I ain't sure.
Especially as Phil's saying, in some areas it's saying the research is showing the risks for the kids. But is that in specific types of vaccines though, as in like Pfizer versus the mRNA versus the
He
the other
didn't he
one
didn't
or thing, or
differentiate. He didn't differentiate. And I haven't looked at further research. The research I was interested in is trying to understand what is this side effect and understand where the blood clotting comes from as well. So I came across a paper where it still seems quite preliminary in terms of the understanding of what is actually causing blood clots, and it seems to be it kicks off some sort of autoimmune response that causes the platelets to come together. So I'm hoping, and this is me thinking of my kids now, is because Nadria, my first, she had quite a few allergy issues, and again,
and that's where you gotta be careful.
not knowing, not understanding a lot of the medical side around that. I'm like, okay, could she be at risk of contracting blood clots as a result?
Yeah.
So I think before that, I would seek a lot of medical advice from a doctor who is not connected with me, and then a doctor who has an emotional connection with me to get both perspectives.
Yeah. Well, there's the answer to your question, Anastasia. They're required to be tested twice weekly. And, even last term when kids were at school, they brought home all these kits that they had to be doing their tests a couple times a week and reporting them on the school's website. So I think we'll see a significant ramping up of that over the course of this coming winter too.
But I can tell you, I don't think at many schools they even bother with that after a while. I think kids are doing it for the first 3 or 4 weeks, and then it was like, we good. Because I'll be at school.
And some children don't even push it right up in the nose properly.
Exactly. So there's a lot of things. And then there was even reports that some kids they find a way to hack it to be positive so they get time off school. So there was all kind of stuff.
There's an interesting point about kids being vaccinated to protect the wider community, because there's a real issue now with when kids do go back to school and they start to mingle, and if they do start to contract COVID, don't forget, a lot of these kids, they spend a lot of time with their grandparents. So once you've vaccinated that community fairly early, and as we know, vaccine efficacy is starting to wane over time, some of those people who have been vaccinated suddenly become vulnerable. But then you got kids now starting to bring COVID home from school. So it is how you try and balance that issue across the community now. And that's where kids are coming into the argument.
But I think that was always the case, right? Is that because I think sometimes people confuse the whole thing about mask wearing and what you're supposed to be doing. Like people saying, I don't want to wear a mask because I don't want to. But at the same time, wearing a mask is more about protecting others than it is about yourself there, because it's about stopping stuff from spewing and getting out there, And the same thing, protecting
That's the way you do
others.
the spewing.
Spewing, he's spewing.
He's a Londoner, Phil. That's what he says.
Hey,
that's how it is.
Regular thing on the tube.
On the trains, they see enough spewing. I can tell you that there now. Enough spewing. But
delicious.
But it is about protecting the wider community. But I suppose, I guess people are thinking though of that, but okay, I understand protecting the wider community, but at the same time, there's a chance that I am harming my child.
Yeah.
And I think communication for me on this whole thing is so key, right? I see a lot of people talking about, hey, go find the answers. So much is out there. Go find your answers on the internet. Do your own research, all this kind of stuff.
Or you could do that.
All that there sound good, right? But for every site that telling you everything is all right,
something else telling you something.
There's something telling you that don't do this here. This is bear jump. So I think when people say, hey, well, go and do your own research, that is difficult.
It is.
At the same time, the current, what's the word? The
cohort?
the current, not the current cohort, the current, what's the word? The momentum out there is to have a bit of distrust of governments.
Yeah.
I think. For different reasons. You have people then would say, people would tell you what they want because obviously this is worth billions of dollars to big pharma,
Maybe
right?
not just governments, but sort of subject matter experts.
And big corporations.
Yeah, because people and I think that's what it's exposing, is that people not sure who to trust. And this is where governments as a whole now really need to get the messaging right and really take time and explain. And y'all will hear me say all the time as well, is that I think this is in the Caribbean, this is where we fell behind.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of the times we got the vaccine and then started to do some education. And that was actually the wrong way around. By the time the vaccine land, people been all over the internet,
Yeah.
you know. And we cannot rely on a BBC website or NBC or ABC or even the CDC. We need to get our own people to look at the information, come to a decision and present it well in a way that is understandable, that is easy, and that, for the most part, I think we do trust our politicians. Well, sometimes, and just really convey that information, not necessarily say, "Hey, go out there and do your own research." I think if you tell people go and do their own research, well, we can be in this cycle for a long, long, long time.
And I can tell you, that is one of the things that I've been looking at over the course of the summer. How many curfews or no movement days or lockdowns the Caribbean is perpetually in. I mean, how much more this we can actually take? Because it just feels as though, because of our low vaccine uptake, that is now translating itself into, economic disaster, really, because that's the only way you can look at it. I see Teresa has just made a really interesting point there about schools, and again, this seemed to be a varying picture across the region. I know Barbados is going back fully online from the 20th of September, but how much more of this can our kids actually take? How much more of it? And not just the kids, because you get the impression too that it's such a burden for the teachers who are having to deliver to kids who might not necessarily be properly equipped to receive learning in an online environment. That is a challenge. And to run through that again for another school year, man, this is just heavy stuff.
Well, the kids and the teachers, I mean, it's a trickle effect, right? The not trickle, really. It impacts everybody that's in that makeup there. It's the kids, it's the teachers, and the auxiliary staff at schools. And then it's the parents as well, because the knock-on impact there is that if my kids are at home to do online learning, therefore I am at home. But if you open back up the economy to tell me go to work, and you see that some companies now are saying, yep, we expect you 60% in the office, But but how can that work when my child is 100% online at home? So there's that whole cycle that we are constantly in at the moment, here in the UK and across the region in the Caribbean as well, that we really got to try and get out of it. And I see the whole thing about mandatory vaccines as well is becoming a big topic there across the region as well. And seeing Barbados may saying, nope, we won't do that. But I don't know if that is for the cameras, but something else happening on the ground. And then we see other places, in the Caribbean, perhaps flirting with the idea of, yes, we will have mandatory vaccines if you want to be a teacher or a nurse or what have you in certain sectors, to say that mandatory vaccines are necessary. So it's a huge conversation that we can have, not to mention the bubble burst. Now,
my days.
not to
No
mention
travel.
the bubble burst and no travel now within the region. But I think everybody saw that coming, though. I don't know about you, but I saw the whole bubble burst thing coming from far off. It was always going to happen. And like everything else, when the global economy, things happen in global economy, is a bit of a ripple effect. Eventually it reaches us at some point as well, a little bit behind. And I think it's the same thing that we have now with this whole COVID resurgence and the different variants and that kind of stuff as well, is that no, it's now there with us. I mean, Trinidad and Tobago, I get it. I know the issue with Venezuela and what's not, but what's happening there is almost unbelievable, considering, how they've dealt with it before, as far as the full lockdown is concerned. I see Jamaica and see Grenada, Barbados, everywhere across the region. It's having
The
some real
Caribbean is
issues.
real trouble here. The Caribbean is in real trouble.
I with you. I think we are, actually, because the issue with lagging behind is that potentially, if you're thinking tourism, which is the main thing that everyone would think about, if our main markets come out of it and we still in it,
Yeah. Nobody's
what?
coming.
Nobody's
Exactly.
coming. Yeah.
then what? And I think this, my opinion, and that's where we should have been a little bit more selfish and a bit proactive in the beginning and created that bubble early. And the traveling should have been there, and everything around tourism being marketed should be all regional. But again, comes back to what we always talking about. That would need a unified CARICOM
Yeah.
speaking and
Believe in
acting and
yourself.
what's not.
Yeah.
So
I think the thing that has annoyed me more than anything else with this whole where has the Caribbean arrived at in this season is there have been some people who I would have expected to be more responsible in what they do online with this
how
whole
so?
argument. There have been a lot of people who've been against the vaccine, and I think people can fall either side, and that's fine because everybody must be able to bring their opinion and have that opinion heard and debated. But the challenge has always been for me in the Caribbean. Okay, if you don't want to get vaccinated, what is the alternative that you're promoting? And I
Yeah.
have not really seen anybody come up with a credible, because for me, it has to be a credible alternative that allows us to return our economies as quickly as possible back to normal. That's the challenge that I think we face. I don't mind having the debate, but tell me what you're proposing as an alternative. And I just haven't seen it.
You mean people that might be quote unquote anti-vax?
Yeah,
Was the
yeah.
alternative
What's the
they think?
alternative? So if you are pushing, okay, we don't want to be vaccinated, right? So what then is the alternative? Tell me, because I need to understand what it is we are going to do if we are so strongly against the vaccines. And as I said to people on my Facebook last week, like, you see this arm here? When I put this sleeve, man, look, I got all sorts of vaccines in this arm here. I've been getting them from 5 years old. Just like everybody else in this audience here who from the Caribbean. We've been vaccinated all of our lives. What's your relationship with vaccines? Most people has probably had a very positive relationship over the years, actually. So somehow we've come to this particular age, but I don't know what's the alternative. I'm not hearing what it is.
Well, I don't have a problem with people being skeptical. I say that all the time. I think skepticism, you know, directed in the right way and proposed in the right way and communicated in the right way is a good thing because that's how it helps you to make right decisions and perhaps do things better. I think I feel like what is happening in the region is that, as you say, people are saying no, we're not taking this. But then, as you say, but okay, so what do you propose that we do?
Yeah,
And
well,
I guess
Teresa, give
people
you
have-
an answer there on screen.
yeah, build up immunity. But then they're
Yeah.
also preaching as well, using different forms of medication and as Teresa said, use natural products and all
products.
this kind of stuff. But again, that is to treat what? That is the after you get sick, then use this or use this to prevent something. Because I see all kinds of medicines and stuff being proposed. But again, it's about where you're getting the information from. Because if I search online, I can find a whole bunch of write-ups on these things. I see Joe Rogan, who's the big guy in the US.
He got COVID now.
He has COVID now. He lists off a whole bunch of meds that he's using. Now, excuse me if I'm wrong, but I think Joe Rogan got nearly $100 million from Spotify, to buy his podcast.
could afford to list them off.
So he could afford to live off a whole bunch of stuff that he get from wherever and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, given the US system, to get this stuff. So sometimes when we speak, sometimes we don't understand the context in which we live. And they're recognizing that a lot of these so-called drugs that you're talking about, where you can get them from. You know, that kind of stuff. But I don't mind people being skeptical. But I think sometimes the response to skepticism isn't necessarily finding people where they're at. Because people are skeptical because of they're saying, okay, this thing was created too fast.
Quickly.
Then they say, oh, it don't have FDA approval. Well, they were saying that up to a week ago. Now it does. So they're finding something else. But I think it all still comes down to the messaging. You will always have a proportion of people who often tend to be the loudest, who no matter what you tell them, they may take nothing.
Yes.
But I think the vast amount of people just want answers and they just don't feel like they're getting those answers. And this is where messaging across the region needs to be, again, unified. Whether it's Carrefour, whether it's whoever, it needs to be a unified approach right across the region to say this is the information that is out there that we have looked at, that we have analyzed, and that we suggested to you. You know, so the skepticism, I don't mind. It's just about the response to the skepticism isn't to tell people the silly.
Yes.
Because
Agreed.
I
Yeah, I
think
agree
when
with
you
that.
tell people the silly, no, you entrenching them now
No.
because you're not listening to what they're saying. And sometimes people just want to be heard. People got a real
And I
fear.
think it's a good debate. I absolutely think that people should question and query and challenge. Absolutely. But there has to come a point where when you're doing that, you have to be saying, and this is what we think is worthwhile as an alternative. And the longer we take to get to that point, or the longer we take to make a decision, we will be in this cycle of lockdowns and release, curfew, no movement days. This can continue for a while, sadly.
Yeah.
I think there is a difference between being skeptical and being full of conspiracy or conspiracists.
But that's the
You know,
difference. Yeah, you gotta be able to
there's
weed out.
there's a
Yeah,
difference.
exactly.
There's a difference there. So it's good for
And there's a
people
lot of that.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of that happening, but it's good for people to challenge and question. And I think our authorities, subject matter experts, politicians in the Caribbean need to become a bit more expectant, and I don't want to quite say comfortable, but I'll go with expectant of people asking questions.
Yeah.
Right? People are a lot more informed. People are a lot more emboldened
Yes.
to question and challenge authority now. And there's a lot of information out there, unfortunately.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a lot of disinformation, a lot of misinformation as well. And being able and having the ability to filter and discern from those different pots of data coming at you requires expertise, understanding, and connection.
Yeah.
So I do think there's a real need to allow people to question.
In some of it as well, it shows you how, in times of crisis, how the whole politicization of issues can become a real problem.
Yep.
Because, until times like this happen, the whole politicization and stuff is a bit of quote unquote fun. You say this, I say that. You only saying this because you use a B, or use a UWP, or use a SLP, or use a PNM, and all this kind of stuff, and UNC. So in times like this, that's what happens. In times outside of this, that might seem okay. In times like this, though, this is where you see the issue of tribalism.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I see in Trinidad, no matter what Prime Minister Rowley says, there's a huge element from the other side that goes,
Don't want to hear
nope, don't listen to Rowley. He's
No.
this, he's that, and these people get enough oxygen.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to the social media thing, they're getting a lot of oxygen. In Barbados, there's a similar thing happen. Everybody was cool with Mia until this thing happening now. Now everybody's like, don't mind she. These BLP people just want to do things for the
Yeah.
people. That kind of stuff. It's interesting to see what's going to happen in St. Lucia now, because, when it was Chastity before, people were saying one thing. Now it's switched now to Pierre. You got to see now. Are you going to change your tune now? That kind of stuff. And it's really showing that issue of tribalism and how it can impact communication in times of crisis, and getting people to rally as a country as opposed to in your different tribes.
But
So that's one of the things that I see in huge.
But that tribalism is a significant compounding factor, because this whole thing has gone way beyond COVID now, and people have started to entrench themselves now in their various tribes, and it don't even make a difference if what you might be saying makes sense, is logical, is sensible. People adopt the approach of the tribe because they're not interested in compromise or coming forward with a solution. In many cases, they are happy to stay entrenched, keep the arguments going, keep feeding the fire, and it feels as though some of it is really getting out of hand. And Trinidad is one of them places that is really, really interesting, because oh my goodness, it just seems like every day is
a bassa down there.
every single every day in Trinidad.
Yo.
Wow.
Trin big on you, seriously. Oh yeah.
Let me know that you're an adopted son of Trinidad these days.
I have no problem. I wherever I'm adopted, I'm okay with that.
Andre Doubles Barrow.
You understand? I never eat a doubles yet, but I gotta resolve that pretty soon.
Change that, man. Change that, and it changes your life. Doubles
You had some doubles, Phil?
Yeah, man.
Ooh,
double
wait.
portion.
You
Listen.
meant these, or these is doubles that you
No,
have
no,
for
no.
watching? Because
No,
I know
no.
you doubles might be triples, So I just
I've never tried. Now that you say it, I can see a market for that. That'd be a good sort of showdown. Bajans versus Trinidad. The Trinidadians
Anybody
got
that can
doubles,
eat-
we come with triples.
Yeah, man.
Anybody that could eat curry can tuna had to eat everything else
Yeah, man.
because that is technically.
I never had
cake.
doubles either. Actually, I've never had it, but certainly, in fact, as we were talking about this summer, one of the fabulous things that I had this summer was a roti from a Trini lady in Brixton. Oh my goodness, man! Whew.
Yes,
Wow.
I remember. Was it saltfish roti? It was.
No, man, I went for the chicken. But
I thought you meant for saltfish, man.
No. I try that next time.
Oh, okay.
But she was absolutely fabulous, man. Really, really good. So you and you as an honorary Trini, you should really know how to make doubles too.
Me, I can go try my hand at it. Man.
So you
I can make
didn't
it.
even taste them yet, and you can try making.
Why not? Well, what is it?
Okay.
That's the thing.
All right.
You
You
understand?
didn't have a chance, Phil, man.
So then I would never know if mine tastes bad because that is the standard. That's the first standard. So now if I get all I could do is get better than mine from there.
Fair enough. I'll tell you
So
what.
that's not.
Next time I buy you, or even if you come up by me, you commit some doubles.
Now look, I ain't
And since
butter
I've
on it.
tasted them before,
You can tell me.
Guys in the
I can try
audience, let me know where you can get the best doubles in London, man. Because in next time
I have
get
no
the
clue.
stuff, man.
Gotta be somewhere in Brixton though. Gotta
Of
be somewhere
course.
in Brixton, man.
Maybe that same lady.
The same
wonder
place
'cause-
actually.
the
I
thing
should
is,
be
that
actually.
was one of the things I advised. There's a Caribbean restaurant not too far from me, and they call Caribbean restaurants. It's really a Jamaican
A
restaurant.
Jamaican restaurant.
A bit of jerk chicken, some
Curry
curry goat. You know how I mean.
Patties.
So I wrote a nice review for them on Facebook.
dear.
And I said it was excellent. It was good food.
But
This is
here's the
Jamaican.
Not Caribbean.
And they sent me a private message and said, "Dear Philip, thank you for your for your comments. What recommendations would you give us?"
but- Ooh.
And I told them.
Did you
they're-
respond?
Of course, I responded.
Of course.
with a list.
God, them thought that they didn't put you on your place,
Yeah.
They may know who they talking
The
about.
first on my list is doubles because I gave some thought to what would people here enjoy. So I didn't put cuckoo and flying fish, for example. But I don't think people here will look at that and say, "Yes,
What is
please." Yeah.
That for
And
me.
also,
That
I
for me.
think that's for us. Yeah, I feel pudding and sauce packaged in the right way would also win some appreciation.
Oh boy.
Was packaged in the right way,
Well, presented, not packaged. Sorry, presented
presented in the right.
presented in a way that people can see its elements.
Man, you gotta have fresh sauce, yeah.
Fresh sauce, and maybe it would have to be, bits of pork as opposed to pig ear, for example.
No,
But if you, I know.
That's how the Indians just look at chicken tikka masala and go. Oh.
Exactly, it's the same thing, but still,
But true,
it
it's
is
the
a-
most
it is a
popular
step-
thing in is true.
it is a step into Indian cuisine.
Wait, you make a sauce one Christmas for me, if I remember correctly. Man, I sure you
did.
make a sauce one time.
I did.
And it was pretty good too.
It was more than pretty good.
Let me stick with pretty good.
I must say, trying to find the best way of making a pudding that holds together
Recipes in the chat, please. Recipes for
without
Phil.
the belly.
Hey, just use the belly, buddy. Well, you fretting yourself? What's wrong with the belly? Use
That's
the
like
belly, man.
That's a lot of work. I even looked around for getting sausage.
But I was gonna
skin.
say, I'm sure if you go to a sausage maker, that they will have some, because theirs aren't the same. The thickness of it isn't the same thing. It's a
I'm
bit
not
thinner.
sure. The thing is, I went to my local butcher, and I asked him.
Man, you
Where-
can't go and ask them out with these things, Phil, man.
That's exactly it.
That no
The man
going
just
on.
look at me like, you try to run me out of business.
You want to rival me?
Exactly. So I'd have to
No,
see.
I sure you can find something there, but it gotta be the belly though. It gotta be belly. Sorry,
I prefer it that way, but sometimes a lovely, nice.
I want to
steamed-
put it. I want to put in that. Some people use the ice cream scoop and scoop up, put in 2 dots. I don't want none of that here, man. I want belly.
Are you okay with that? You know.
That's for
okay
when
with
you can't do no better.
And
That's me. It can't
that's
be
my
better.
current status.
No, you can't say. All right. Well, you would get me with that. You get me to do a dish of pudding. You could get me with that.
Oh, there's interesting right? People don't use belly anymore. We do steam pudding.
Valerie, I don't know where you getting your pudding and sauce from.
Valerie.
Where I go home, I just find where the belly is, where people just do belly.
And the belly.
Yeah. Oh, it's belly.
From belly to belly.
The belly.
Exactly. I just only do this steam pudding when I can't do no better. But on Saturday mornings, I be buying from people who do the belly. If I even lucky, the people it might find somebody who still use the one with blood. But that's a different conversation.
Okay. Ooh, okay. Wow.
Nah.
Still got a few people that do that too.
Man, you going down
This
low
man,
now,
like
man.
this man like a pendulum, though.
What? You swing all over the place, man.
That's what grew up on, man. It gotta be the blood, man. What's wrong with that?
Okay.
You still find a few people that do that, man. You still find a few. Yeah, that's the way how it gotta be. That's the way it gotta be, man.
And it's funny because we didn't even do the baking over the holidays, which is kind of strange. Because Phil, you would normally, grace us with what is the latest thing in the Robinson's kitchen or in the Robinson's mind.
Actually, we haven't really created anything these days. It's just be look in the fruit basket, will it like again, get Trini bin, do something quick with it.
Chesterfield,
maybe
you got
apples. Under the real port mode.
I claim it, Chesterfield. I claim it, buddy. I claim it.
How Phil, and in true pendulum style, how a man can go from being a vegetarian
Exactly.
to a pork mouth. I mean, cheese.
So,
Because that's where it start.
a blood
eating.
blood licking pork mouth.
The man's a vampire.
Who occasionally eats vegetables.
Pork vampire.
Wow.
As it should be. That's how it should be. You gotta have a range. You gotta have a range. So I can go on Golden Sands here now as Bazan thing. There,
Both
find
steam
some
and
belly,
belly.
man.
Wow, I like that. See, given the option.
Thank you for that, Pet. I would go there next time and figure that one out.
So, well, the Trinis will have to tell us where in Trinidad and Tobago is the best place, to pick up some doubles. But there gotta be some place in London, man, because I want to try it before Barrett turns his hand at it.
You want to create a benchmark. You want a benchmark.
I want benchmark, absolutely.
Taste mine first. The only way from there is up. Bipolar eating. The only way from there is up. After you, so don't eat them from nowhere else yet.
Okay.
Taste mine first, and then only way is up from there. So that's be good. I'm not gonna taste bad. I'm not gonna be good, man.
Actually, I feel knowing as an experienced eater, taster
Listen to the man.
of doubles, I don't think it is that hard to.
Oh Lord. All right, let me left you by himself there, man.
I don't think it's that hard to create.
He is on his own. What's the trade?
looks like
in
that.
here now?
Let me left you there by himself.
It looks like it's not hard to make, but it's hard to make well.
Trinis,
That I can tell.
we are not saying that. That is Philip on his own. Okay.
All I am saying is doubles are not hard to make, but hard to make well. To get the right crispiness.
I like that caveat. What difference there though? They're either hard to make or they're hard to make well. Wait, it's like I can make anything. I can make bread, but I might not be able to make it well. So I mean, I can't make bread. But anyhow,
Okay, let me see if I can think of the right example. There's some things that just require enough ingredients, right? And a lot of work and a lot of preparation. Right? Doubles is not that.
Wow.
okay.
It doesn't require a lot of
Never
work.
had it. Never made it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, answer that question there for Valerie, man. Who
taught? Nobody. I can't make pudding and sauce. I tell you, I just only eat it. I even try and make some. I would try and make some, but I just only eat it. I don't make it. That's Phil that make a sauce.
So who teach you to make sauce, Phil?
I would say probably my mother. Because
Okay.
she used to make it quite a bit when we were growing up.
Oh.
But I learned a
come
trick.
back.
I learned a trick
whatever.
with sauce, and I even feel nervous about sharing this,
Go ahead.
Well,
Breaking
well.
news.
but it's so excellent. So the last time I was down by, my cousin that lives nearby you,
Yeah.
Andre, and she asked me to make a bit of. Well, we decided to do pickled breadfruit instead. So she asked me to make it, but then she gave me this family secret that I did not know about:
Wow.
Right.
juicing of the cucumber.
Huh?
Yeah.
So you know, not just chopping up the cucumber, but you actually take a full cucumber and just juice that, and then add that into your final
But
mix.
when you juice it, you mean blend it or you mean
blending it, yes.
So I
Not
don't
just
know about
technically cucumber
blending
juice.
it. I don't know about blending it. I've seen either my aunt or someone who would actually like really mash it and squeeze it, which I guess is a similar thing.
Getting the juice out, yeah.
And getting the juice out of one of them and
Yeah.
then pickling the rest. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
these
see my
cucumbers here be different, you know. These cucumbers
Yeah,
here
it
don't
be
be
same.
like one. These cucumbers here be corky, and just don't have the same flavor.
If you go to like an Asian or African restaurant, you get our cucumbers.
Proper
Our
cucumber.
cucumbers, okay.
Yeah, our.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, no, I agree. I see Michael come out just make the common mistake of saying that doubles is conkeys. Not true.
No, what?
Not true, Michael. Not true. Doubles and conkeys are not the same
Michael,
thing.
that's shame.
But I
Then
assume
even
that he was
family.
answering Didi. It's not
Then
the
even
same
family.
thing.
They even got a common.
He just show he had there. He
sort
just
of
show he had
ancestor.
there.
There's not even a common ancestor. between-
Not the same. What's the one that
Food.
Trinidad say
Food
that
is
is
the
the
common
same as a
ancestor.
It is
Is it-
called
is it
that's
Pami?
the one that got the mince meat in it.
doubles is the one it makes me. Pami is the one that say that like
Conkeys,
is it
yeah,
Pami?
Pami.
That's the word? Is he saying is
Pami.
it word is the one that like right that like
Yeah.
conkeys?
That's basically a conky without.
Bernadette, that's for Michael, right?
I hope he do.
Yeah, that's
Hang,
baby.
hang
That
on.
looks good.
Who is that? That's just somebody just put the answer there. Anastasia.
Chalk and cheese. Absolutely.
Yeah, doubles is fried dough filled with what? Curry chickpeas.
Chickpeas.
Jeez. It's savory as well.
Yeah.
Doubles is savory.
Pastels. That's the word I was looking
Pastels.
for. man.
That's
Oh, he
right.
said he was,
Pastels.
he was responding to, he said he was responding to Philip. Okay.
You're gonna get out of jail now, right?
Oh,
Responded me. Responded me in what context?
He said he's responding to you there with this one here. like.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Okay.
Got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Calm down, people.
Take
Calm
that
down.
fast. You take
Yeah.
that fast.
All right,
man.
yeah.
Call off the homes. Call off the homes there, Michael.
Give Michael some love.
Yeah. Hearts on Michael. Give Michael some hearts.
Yeah.
Just hearts, man.
He is right. Conkeys. That is a really good example.
Hey, Dennis.
Because we know from experience, conkeys is be up all night.
Oh yes. Oh,
Getting
yes.
everything up.
Yeah. Conkeys is one that you gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes some time to do that one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh,
You gotta turn off your phone and everything. Put it aside.
No, I agree. But Phil, before we start though, we're having a conversation about your summer of contemplation about the hair. What was this about
Oh
again?
yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. Of course.
No, it was just a few before lockdown. I went to my barber and I said, you know, I don't think I could do a fade anymore.
Ooh.
And the barber told me, man, you still got a little something.
Hey, the man want work.
So he said he believed I could still get a low skin fade. You know?
Why don't kill yourself?
The question is, did you go home and ask the wife?
Sort of.
Choking.
What was the answer? Hey, Cheryl.
She said, yeah, she thinks so, but she told me the back of my head is actually very light.
We're moving on now.
You
And I
mean
was
you're looking
actually
a little
very
bit of
surprised.
Sherman Hensley, like I have a little bit of George Jefferson?
I was very surprised because I only ever looked at this part of my head and it looked fine to me, so I believed the barber. But then it was one day, I think it might have been, for some reason, somebody got a picture of the back of my head. And I,
Did you need to do that?
and I
you need to
recognized the shirt. I said,
But
"That
you
is
didn't
the
know who
shirt
that
right
head
there."
belonged to.
But when I saw the head,
Who's that one that wear my shirt?
I could not believe it.
So you resisting going bald. That's what you're saying. You resisting doing the scrape. Hey,
I don't think I need to scrape quite as yet. I think there's that area there that's mostly bald, still has a few signs of life.
Mark, you tell him, man.
A few signs of life.
Shave off it, thing, boy.
Tell him, man. Tell him, man. Yeah, man.
You don't want to look like George Jefferson.
The man there holding on like MacGyver up on a helicopter. How you doing?
But I think
the man there holding on like MacGyver.
It's at a stage where we can keep it low, but I don't think it has to all go as yet.
I think Katie
so.
Joseph has summed it up there quite well. Quite well.
Denial.
Denial.
Swimming in denial, man.
Swimming in it.
In both ways, because when you look, when he head down, he got the nail going through there too.
But I always feel, I just saying, you know what? What he says, I have that Andre moment. He's always talking about that.
That was the most. I thank you every day, boy. That was the most honest moment I had. I never went back to the barber since that day, boy.
I apologize.
No, it's alright.
He shocked you, Phil.
Yeah.
Not tell me that one, man.
It was just I had not seen him for like 2 years, right? and then the man say, "Hey Phil, yeah, in the area, I can drop by." He said, "Sure, it'd be good to see you." So he dropped by, and I see the man turn up at my front door like this. You know, like if you got on a hat and you pull it far back.
Yeah.
And I was so surprised. And it was like, wait. What happened to your head? I didn't mean it to come out like that, but
that's exactly what you'd have meant.
Listen,
but it was so surprised.
And you know the thing is, I had that same conversation with the barber, and my barber tell me the same thing that yours tell you.
Man, you can still go again.
You can still do a little
one fade.
A little one fade. I could do a half of one for you, man. I got a special blade for that.
There's a bit
I've
of
not
a
been back.
business.
I've not been back to the barber
model.
since. Yeah.
There's a bit of a business model in this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think just go and get the. We use Mark. You shave your head. We use.
Of course, I accept my fate a long time ago. I just get my foam, put it on, scrape it off.
Scrape it off, you know? Man. So join the club.
Some coconut oil to keep my scalp.
Coconut oil,
man. Yeah, man.
Don't resist no more. Don't resist no more.
And the point resisting.
Don't. Yeah.
You know, ball heads are in. What's wrong with you, bro?
One hair a mile from the other. I like this one that Didi got here. One hair a mile from the other.
You're not wrong there, Didi. You're not wrong. The boy's holding on, but that's all right. If you see when you come over to the other side, and this side is not as bad as you think.
I don't think it's
good,
bad.
Man.
Welcome,
buddy.
Then the point holding out, Phil.
Yeah.
No point at all. Come on over, man. You know, don't be all George.
I see Jefferson. George, man, leave George.
Cause you know what's gonna happen, right? One day you can get a busy couple of weeks, right? And you can just forget to shave your head, or you can just get chance, and then you can go get somewhere fast, and you can forget all about your head. And when you turn up, everybody can just be like, "Oh, you're moving on up,
yeah, boy,
to the side."
Pictures from the back will look very different.
You're gonna forget completely, and that's gonna be the worst thing to ever happen. But you're gonna run home, shave your hair straight way, and you can just get proactive, get ahead of it, man.
Yeah,
get ahead of it, man. It's not that bad. Not that bad. It's all.
I see Katie there saying that barbers adding wigs and fading them too. I see that on social media now, where you can get you can put back on all of your hair now, man, and just get it cut down. But
a wig fade. The challenge with that is what do you say to people who see
easy there, Chester, man, easy.
What do you say to the people who see you the day before?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good. What you gotta do is, hey, Wilfred, what you gotta do is go on holiday. When nobody ain't see you.
Isolation.
And they just, yeah, because people can think that, and this is why going proactive ball is a good thing, right? Because everybody can just assume that you decide to do it. So, but then if you do the hair now, and go on holiday and come back, they can just assume you let the hair grow. So now you,
Yes.
Listen, that's what friends are for. Help you out.
Yeah.
You get that one for free.
You get that for free.
That might be a useful.
You get that for free. So be
Even add in some
proactive.
grays in the wig.
Do a little sprinkle, man. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So be proactive with it.
Salt and pepper. Keep it real. Yeah.
Listen, you get that for free because we's friends.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
There you go. Don't worry about all love, man. All love, man. I ain't gonna be as rude to you as you was to me. Okay.
Oh shoot. I was honest. The man
You
went
hit the
from
hard,
honest to
bro. You
rude.
hit the hard.
Not that
man.
you ever hold on to it. You know, gone up memory long time ago. You just bring it back up. Got me all a bit, but that's all right.
Fair enough. That's right.
Carla, how you doing, man? I haven't seen you for a while. You doing all right?
Yeah. Hey, Carla, how you doing? You
Wow.
know how it is. So that's a good thing, but don't worry. Ooh. Look. Conversation bringing who there now?
Ooh.
Oh,
Who
okay.
that? Somebody wake up. Ooh.
She come in with
Okay.
You know what I did saying? Then I did saying, hey, I hear.
Yeah.
Don't
I
mind
hear.
that. Don't mind that.
Leffy.
Whoa. She jumping there fast enough, boy.
Right there. Oh, she's getting there fast, man. Ooh. Okay. Good
Yeah,
to
nice
hear,
to
Carla.
see you,
Good to
Carla.
hear you
Nice
doing
to
well.
see you, man. Nice
Good
to
to
see
hear
you.
you doing well.
So I'm looking for some trainees, man. I want to try and get some trainees in a couple of shows in a week or so. So any of our trainees in the audience, guys, reach out. Let us know if you're available. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. And this is our COVID conversation as well on how things are going, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got to have that conversation again,
Yeah. It's one thing to see it. It's one thing to see people talking about it online, but we want to hear our people in that conversation here on We Global. So if you're in the audience, you know our mantra, you can be in the audience one week, but you could be here with us sitting down having a conversation the next. So let us know if you want to jump in that conversation.
Indeed. Michael said some women have a thing. But that is true, but hey, women could get away with that.
What's that?
Some people have one here. Women have one here still today and another one tomorrow. That is true. That is
As
true.
Carla said, if you pay for it, it's yours.
But this is true. I agree with that too. Women could get. I'm not sure if we could get away with that easy.
Nah.
But anyhow,
Nah.
I ain't trying.
I would be cautious with that one there, Phil.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else you want to touch on?
Well, I pretty easy. You know that I have to start sleeping early now on Sunday night. So I've taken on a slightly different role in the workplace these days now.
These days, that's right.
It's interesting to see,
Well,
and
you
I
got
know
more responsibility. Yeah, that's all right.
you know that, and I know you're a man that's always very critical of us people who run transport across the country. I know you are always quick to bring the knives out. I know that might not be a good
Critical in a good way, not criticizing.
man,
Critical in a good way. In a good way. Ever see you doing good? Good. But you're charging me all of these different things all over the place. Man, no, man.
He wants to be able to drive all over the place free, Phil. But
Hey, when the men tell you, hey, pay for this bridge in 10 years, then we can stop the toll. 30 years later, we still paying the toll. What happened? They're very sneaky. But that's all right.
Well,
happy to contribute. Helping my man there is paying my man salary and thing there. So I all good for. Tell them, look, take off the toll. I give you some money direct.
you know to slap a charge for me for coming down by you there the other day.
I got
See
it
that
too.
there now?
The dark charge.
I should write in the paper and tell them road man skip dark charge.
Highways chief.
Shoot. That's even better, Phil.
I love that.
Highways
term,
chief.
I love that. No, man, I skipped my man. I did what I had to do. you know.
No, the dark charges get you. We had that a few times because now they take out the barriers. It's just driving you forget all about that.
Operation Free Flow, man. Operation Free Flow.
Flow. All right, it don't be that free though. Very often out there, so ice block up.
That is true.
So that free flow thing there thing. But anyhow, you on the job. I know you can sort it out, buddy.
I'll do my best, man.
You can sort it out. You can sort it out. So I ain't got a problem.
I think, and I guess as we landing on transport, we can touch on this one because one of the things that I've seen in the Caribbean this summer as well is a lot of activity around climate. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. Floods, winds. I know it's hurricane season, but it just seems fairly exceptional, and we seem to be suffering a lot of impacts from various climate systems over the course of this year. And I mean, this freak floods, and this alongside COVID is really now causing serious harm to the Caribbean economies.
Well, it is September. You know, you say September, remember September. And September and October, the two crazy times for weather in the Caribbean, although I would say August this year probably started a bit early. Because let me tell you, I see some flooding in Trinidad and in St. Vincent particularly.
Yeah.
As well. That was absolutely crazy. I mean, even Barbados has some crazy flooding there too. You had Jamaica has some bad flooding, Haiti as well. We had the flooding on top of the earthquake, unfortunately, there for them as well. Yeah, it's an interesting conversation that we need to really, really, really talk about and figure out as well how we're going to put pressure on those who causes the most emissions in the world that's impacting us in order to get them to do the responsible thing. And again, it's one of those things that I don't think can happen unless we have a unified voice at the table and not an individual voices, right?
I think that's one conversation, putting pressure on the larger states. But the internal conversation is how do we actually live with the effects of how does our building code change? How does our response change? All those things we need to be thinking of, because from this year, and not just in the Caribbean but also globally, we look at what just happened in New York and New Jersey as well.
And in Germany, if you remember, is it
Germany? It was in Germany.
Germany. Yeah.
So this is it. This is the effects of climate change that we are now that are here with us. So it's going to get worse.
Yeah, I agree, and I agree with you regarding we internally need to have conversations about how we deal with the effects of it, because some of the stuff. There's the old saying, you can't control how somebody else behave. You can only control how you behave and what's within your game. So there's one thing about pressuring others to behave responsibly, but then there's internally what do we do? And we come back to a conversation we had probably early up last year. Things like still allowing international hotels to come and build on our beaches. Our natural barriers to the things that's happening regarding climate change, we still allowing to go into the hands of foreigners right up against the shoreline for tourism dollars. But yet our prime minister talk a lot about, we're going to go and pressure people on climate change. Yeah, but okay, fine. But one of the things about climate change is rising sea levels.
Yes.
So how do you marry this with you just awarding $1 billion contract? At least I said billion, but billions for them, not necessary for us, to a company to take over a whole bunch of our shorelines, which is our natural defense against rising sea waters, and those are the kind of conversations that we need to be having and pressuring our governments to have as well.
And I think when you look at the effects of COVID, you got to be so careful, because governments will now be so desperate for inward investment. They will duck a lot of the responsibility that they should be upholding to actually help us to be in a more sustainable place. Why? Because the economics is not working for them. So they will start to make these decisions and just say, well, because of the fallout of COVID, we need to recover the revenue. So we've got to be so careful in the season ahead of us that we hold governments to account right across the region, because it's no excuse to say that we're going to handle all of these multi-billion-dollar contracts to recover our economies, but then future generations are going to pay such a heavy price.
And we cannot divorce the climate conversation from foreign direct investment in the Caribbean, right? We got to find a way to marry the two things. We cannot always be coming from a position of inferiority in those negotiations. And unfortunately, I feel that that's the position we come from. Hey, the investment is not going to come unless we give them our prime beach land in order to develop their tourism product, because that's what the tourists want. They want to be able to step out to their hotel and step onto the beach. Yeah, but some of these tourists go places all over the world and they can't do that.
Yeah, they can't do it there in Bournemouth. They
You know,
can't do
they
it there in Brighton.
in
They can't do
Miami
it
and
there in
what's not.
Portsmouth.
The beaches on one side and the hotels on the other side of the road. So they get what you allow them to have. So I what's there is there, but we certainly shouldn't be allowing new investment to come and build on the hotels, and that's the thing we need to do. We can't divorce the two things.
No.
But the other thing is, how do we redefine what progress looks like? Because quite often, what we define as progress is not sustainable. It's not good for the ecology. Right? So how do we start to redefine that and start to have a vision of a future that is not necessarily over consuming?
Well, you see, some people will look back on the life of the former Prime Minister of Barbados, Owen Arthur, and his legacy, right? But if you remember, one of his big decisions back in 1994 was he wanted to see every household with a car, right? That was a big thing back in the mid-90s. Now, as a policy decision, where are we in relation to that further down the line now, trying to grapple with climate change? If every house in Barbados and everybody in that house in Barbados has a car, that is a recipe for disaster.
Again, you're right, Mark.
Had Prime Minister Owen Arthur back then said, I'm going to pile a lot of my resources into improving public transport across this country, potentially we could be in a different place as a nation. And Barbados is not different to other Caribbean islands. We're very monomodal. We're heavily dependent on the car to move around. And that's going to be a big, big challenge for us in moving ahead.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree 100% with that, but the time is now for us to stop paying lip service to these things, It's one thing to sign up to these big international climate change policies, global stuff by the UN and what's not, and we sign up to them even though we probably produce less than 1/3%, and I mean collectively in the region, of what is contributing to it. So that's why we got to look at it from the other aspect as well, which is to how do we build our defenses and against what's happening, one, and how do we change so that internally we aren't contributing, because I don't think we contribute hugely to the global, but we contribute a lot to the local without recognizing that that's what we're doing. Yeah, as you say, that policy by Oina for everybody with a car. Yeah, okay, now that's happening, now you can't move around. Okay, but now the current government talking about going electric. All right, good. So we can put all these old cars? So is that kind of stuff that you got to be thinking through.
Even if you go electric does nothing for congestion. You're just sitting in a different type of vehicle.
So how do you put these things together? And that's what we as a region need to do. I still think, someone mentioned the blue economy. Yes, there's a lot to be done there. There's a lot to be done to me in recognizing our own indigenous technologies that we could use to do things. And there's a lot too that we as a people need to stop necessarily chasing after what is foreign, if that makes sense.
It does. It really does.
Chasing after what is foreign. What is foreign doesn't have to be the standard that we go for.
No.
We can find our own standard within and live comfortably within that and prosper.
Yes,
and by saying living comfortably doesn't mean that we don't prosper and prosper as well, So that's the thing that we need to be able to do and understand and to come to grips with. And again, that's going to take a lot of communication.
And generations, perhaps.
And generations, yes. And bringing people on board,
Yeah.
And that generational point is a very, very interesting one for us in the Caribbean, because we don't see things in that way, sadly. Our view is always through the political lens of the next couple of years. When we start talking about generational change, it can be a little bit difficult to sell because, you know, the politics don't always work for the politicians in those type of areas. But it's an interesting one, and one I'm sure we'll talk about more.
Yeah, you're right. Because that's where the opportunity for the change in thinking has been highlighted during this COVID period, that we cannot think in just 5-year blocks anymore. We got to be thinking, you know, the mindset has to change so much in order for us to really progress. Whoever wins the next election needs to not be willing to just come in and rip up wherever the other government was doing and start over and do something else.
Ridiculous.
You know, I remember growing up back in the day and said Sherburne ain't got in the backside, you know, because one government started a conference center that was known to be world renowned. Government changed and they may say, I ain't touching that. And for years, the conference center in Barbados sit down there with steel at the back, ain't had no backside. You know, so that's the kind of stuff, you know, people starting hospitals and the next government changed, they ain't finishing the hospital because they're going, no, I ain't touching that. That was theirs.
Yeah.
Like, it's stuff like that we really need to change, you know.
And I think Carla has raised a fabulous point there about, you know, our role, because a lot of what needs to happen in the future is going to come down to the individual choices. You know, governments can legislate and make policies as much as they want, but you see that point there about convenience, that is who we have become as a people.
Indeed.
You know, it is all about, you know, and this society that we live in here in the UK, oh my goodness, man, people don't even want to cook food. You know, everything is based on quick and convenient. That is what they want.
Bags of spiced rice.
You know?
Hey, I was young. I wouldn't do it so anymore.
but her point about that tension between convenience and what it will require to shift people to green policies is a fabulous point. There's a lot to uncover there, Carla, and we will.
But
interesting, Anastasia brings up this here about our solar energy.
Oh,
so
we talk about that all the time.
I do think there's a reason there. Unfortunately, we lost a stalwart, Professor Oliver Headley, who was really not just a local in Barbados, but a regional and an international sort of brain and leader in the area of solar energy. You know, I think he had the creations of solar cooling, which when you think of that is.
But if you think of one place
thing for the tropics,
one place in the world that solar should be booming is in the Caribbean.
Yeah,
we should be exporting.
And it was for a while back in the 80s and stuff. If you remember back in the solar dynamics and stuff in Barbados, and that was going throughout the Caribbean. And even I think solar dynamics at one point, somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember that them even having contracts as far as Florida when they were building new developments using the solar dynamics products and technology that came out of Barbados back then. Some of the issues we have is understanding how to commercialize stuff. But again, it comes back to us developing a standard for ourselves and being okay with that.
Yeah.
You know, and being okay, but still being sensible enough to protect what is ours.
Yeah.
We don't want the juvenile nonsense happening here. And protect what is ours still. So we could live as harmonious as we want and do things to move forward, but we still got to recognize the world in which we live and find that balance. So still protect what is ours. So anybody come and use it, the whole bunch of money should be repatriating back to the Caribbean, then to further development and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's always interesting, the solar conversation, because so much potential there, to be honest with you. So much potential there, you know. But what you don't want is somebody else coming and utilizing what is there naturally for us to develop something, then to take away, and then sell it back to us. You know, it's the same thing of, hey, we grow chocolate, we grow cocoa, but hey, we buy Cadbury. You know, it's that same, which is a big conversation. Was it you was telling me? I feel a big conversation that's happening between African countries right now and Switzerland.
Oh yes, yeah. We were talking
about
that the other day.
The Swiss chocolate and the African countries are saying, "Hang on, but the cocoa is ours, though. So what's Swiss chocolate you talking about?"
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, but
you just have the recipe.
Exactly. You know, so it's that kind of stuff that we got to look at really hard as a people. to make sure that we're taking advantage of what's going on out there.
Andre
No, but good
frozen
point.
there for you, Phil?
He is. He look as though he's sort of. I thought he was.
Y'all can hear me though.
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you clear.
Hey, look,
You look like if you're thinking about a spiced rice.
Man, like spiced rice barrel.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened there. Could hear you loud and clear, but for some reason he just got stuck.
Yeah. You came back. Oh,
Oops. There you are.
you're good, man.
Yeah, man.
I get there now. Okay, cool.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah,
You know, but yeah, all these things we gotta talk about.
yeah, man. Yep.
Constant contemplation. That's right, Anastasia. That's me all the time. Always thinking about something. Always. But no, that's a lot of stuff. And we're gonna come back to that climate conversation as well at some point. As well. Spice bar. That's me, man. I don't mind. I own it. I own it.
Watch it. Yeah, that might stick.
I own it, Valerie. Hey, Valerie, take care. You know, I own it. But no, we can come back to the climate conversation because they got the climate conference in Glasgow, isn't it?
Yep.
That's right. And I think that's something that we should definitely have a good, intense conversation about and understanding where we as a region stand in some of those areas. So I think that's good.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Absolutely.
Take it for a drink. No, don't do that. But no, it was a good conversation, guys. Glad to be back.
Good to be back, man. Great to be back.
Always. Yeah.
Good to be back. Good to be back.
As though we never left.
As if somebody say it felt as if we'd have gone for a year. I can't remember who said that, but
Really?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
But a
that's
break
all right.
is good. A break is good. man.
No, a little break is good. Felt good, feel good, refreshed, and what's not. So ready to have some more good Caribbean conversations. And we got some plans as well coming up. We got coming up soon. We got a living legend in the Caribbean in the living room, as well. So that's gonna be good. And then we got something new. I ain't even telling y'all about it yet. I ain't saying nothing.
Okay.
I ain't saying nothing. But when we bring it out,
And it
y'all
drop.
gonna be like, what?
What?
That's all I say. That is all I say.
That can be.
Mark, and during that time, you bring in a
have to be
football
in the
show
living
as
room.
well.
Yes, of course. I've started the football show. Look, we all love football. The football show by V Global every 2 weeks. It's on our YouTube channel, and I get together with two youngsters and we talk football because we love it.
Talk football. Even though he taught football, not that he really love it at the moment, because
Oh, shoot.
My team Arsenal is sitting at the bottom of the Premier League. Yes, I know that. and what is even worse is that his team, Tottenham, are sitting top of the Premier League. Disgrace.
I let you say, because I know it was a bit of therapy for you to say, get it out
It
there.
hurts me, man.
Don't keep it inside. Get it out there. So that's good that you say. I like to say, but I wasn't actually going to say anything. I wasn't even referring to that. I don't know what
We will see. We will see.
But look, guys, we got some. So you know how excited get about things, right? But this one, I so excited about it, but I can't say nothing about it yet. But it is coming. You will see it soon. We will share it with you. But it's going to be extremely exciting. Extremely exciting. And I think, would it be a first, Mark? Be safe to say it would be a first for region? I don't know. We could say that.
Yes. It will be a first for the region. Yes. Well, in the way that we're gonna do it, because we do we thing.
Yeah,
We have a way of doing these things.
We claim first, man. Who can come and tell you that we are first? We claim that. We claim it. I think so, man. Ask for forgiveness later on if somebody tell you they didn't do it already. I don't think anybody do it already, though.
Indeed.
Not in the way how we gonna do it, but I think it can be good fun. That's
That's unjust. You're making doubles. Same words.
Yes, Valerie, I see you got your ears pricked. Have them prick. It's gonna be special. Trust me. A few weeks now, we can let y'all know. Don't worry. Now. Yeah. Anyway, final words, Phil.
No, just good to be back. I'm looking forward to I have the advantage of knowing the schedule. So really looking forward to what's coming next. This is gonna be good.
I think so, man. Corbin?
Fabulous to be back. Thanks so much for all of you guys who were in the audience today and made, when we get together, we just want to have a catch up and a talk. But you guys are who really made the show. So thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. And Chesterfield, thanks for that comment that we made you add it and then we withdraw.
Wow.
Hey, that's what you gotta do sometimes, man. You gotta do. But no, thank you guys for always, being with us and for listening, and not just listening, because we always say that yes, we might present the show, but you guys are part of the show as well. You guys present it also. You share it. You like it, you get involved in the conversation, and so you're very much not just only an audience, but you're actually a cast member as well, as we have good Caribbean conversations. So thank you guys for joining us today. It's been fantastic. We talk a lot of things that's going on in the region and some things going on outside the region as well. But a lot of good stuff is coming next. But thank you guys for being with us. Until next time.
I'm gonna drink my Mobby Light.
See through Mobby.
Mobby-ish. That should be a new program.